Oh, look, I'm scared of catacombs, even though I can survive trapdoors. Look at me. Yeah, I did that. I think I'll be a bit of a wind up on that one.
Jalo, my friend, is the wedding still moving forward at the castle?
Prince Alex.
Because Jollo aren't Jollo the informant.
Wedding has a
We
whole
made him turn
castle of
states.
bustle. Look, I didn't come here to
Whistleblowing
talk
on the
about that,
KGB.
though. I came to warn you.
Warn me? About what? Isn't the wedding bad enough?
No.
Now, this is an
listen.
interesting clue to
Borgia
how
knows
to
that you're
what we do
here,
next.
Alexander.
As you said,
He's
there's a bit of a
posted
stretch to
extra
this, but
guards,
like,
and he's
I
telling
think
them
this is
about
the
a
first of
foreign
like two or
saboteur.
three
Who else could it be but
clues
you?
to as to
Lucius
what to
G
do
must have learned of
as
your
part of
presence in the land, Prince
the
Alex.
full
I
ending,
don't know
The
how
golden
you
you
like.
ending, yeah.
must have.
Golden
I
ending,
haven't
yeah.
exactly been discreet.
Because like I said, you could just
Alexander,
easily
this is
find the puzzles you
serious.
need and just essentially
Alhazred
go
won't
from
never
there.
let you get close
But
to
um,
Cosima now.
but it is
He's
surely the
doubled
fact that like you
castle guard,
have
probably to make
two or
sure
three other
you
puzzles
keep
there that you
out.
clearly
Can't
know you
do
need to
it.
do.
Oh, it's too
So yeah, I
late
suppose your
looking for
mind will
some way
be
to
naturally going
convince
like, well, we haven't done a
Alhazred
use for this
that
item.
the
Let's do it now, type of
even
thing.
died. If he
Oh,
thought
here?
you were out of the way, you
Mm.
might be able to get close enough to.
What an interesting thought. Tell me more about this genie.
The genie's name is Shamir Shamazel. Alhazred brought Shamir with him when he came to this kingdom. Shamir probably won't directly threaten you, but that doesn't mean he isn't dangerous. He can be a terrible trickster and an ingenious spy. It's too bad we can't get our hands on Shamir's lamp. If we had that lamp, Alhazred and all of our problems would be solved. Wouldn't that be a fine thing?
You would wish to be master of such a wicked creature?
Oh, Shamir isn't necessarily evil. Genies never are, you know. They only reflect their owner's heart, for good or ill. Alhazred is hardly a shining example for an impressionable genie.
I mean, first rule of anything,
So
Jollo,
how do you
don't touch another
propose
man's
we
lamp.
go about getting Shamir's lamp?
Like, come
What?
on, you know better than
Alex,
this.
I was only dreaming. I mean, the lamp is heavily guarded. It would be easier to steal Alhazred's own trousers while he's wearing them.
So what you're
than for me to
saying
get that
is
lamp.
that if
But
we
surely a
steal the
clown's
lamp
hands are
ourselves, we
quick
can
and
get a
agile.
genie to just pull pints
Well,
constantly?
yes, they are.
I mean,
matter of fact.
what a deal.
But then the
Why
theft
don't
would
we
be
do that?
detected
Like,
almost
let's get him
immediately.
now. Fuck it, let's
And
do it.
Then, my poor neck.
If the theft were detected.
Oh, I see. Yes, well, there might be a slim chance, but only that.
Sir, I think you're confusing me
Find
for a
replica
juggler.
of Genie's lamp. An exact replica. I might be able to make the swap. I alone might.
In fairness,
get
Jollo,
close
your
enough,
face doesn't seem
but
to be
I
that
couldn't
big.
tell
I
you
think
what
you'll
to
be
look
alright.
for. I caught a glimpse
Like,
of
they have to
it
take at least
once.
2 or 3 goes at the
I
guillotine
would
to
know
get
it
through
if I
that.
saw it again, but to say I cannot.
Well, I'll just have to see what I can do.
Good luck to you then, Prince Alex. I really must be going back to the castle. I don't think I'll be able to come back here. If we were spied on, well, it's too high a risk. I hope you understand. If I see Casima, I'll tell her I
So
saw
again,
you.
so there's a
If
bit
you
of
ever
a
make
bit
it
of a
to the
conceit here
castle,
on this
look
one
me up.
because
And
this ties in with
the
the
end.
faking our death
I
puzzle.
will.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
Like in order to do
Jalo.
that, we need
Thanks for all your help.
like we've already kind of like gathered that the old guy in the black clothes that's floating around is the genie in kind of like street clothes essentially. So the only way you can actually draw him out is by causing a scene, which is what we do, and then in a cutscene that we physically that the character physically doesn't see, but we see. That's when you figure out what the genie's bottle is. Like
Yeah,
that in
exactly.
itself is it's a good puzzle, but like. Oh, it's a stretch. It's a
hella
stretch
moon
and a
logic.
half.
It's hell moon logic. Like,
Yeah.
the fact that we need to witness a cutscene. Like, we need to witness a
Good day,
cutscene.
maid. My
And he
name's
does- yeah.
Alexander. How do you
And
do?
yeah, that's the thing.
I'm
It's just a
sorry,
bit of a.
sir, but I'm not
Ooh,
allowed
that
to
one needs a
touch
bit of an
strangers.
explainer on that one. Especially considering, like, even in the conversation with Jalo, like, he kind of like prompts you kind of 3 times. This is what you do
Alexander sees
next.
no use for
You
that
know,
item
it's
there.
like, I get what you're trying to say to me, but it's a
Pardon
question
me,
of
lady.
why
I
and
hope
how.
you don't think me forward, but I see that you like roses.
Now,
I thought you
you'll
might
remember
perhaps
this character here for
like a
being
fresh
both
white
Snow
rose.
White
Alexander can see the conflict in the girl's pretty
and
face,
Cinderella,
as she
because
moves
apparently
between her
there's only
distrust
space for
him
one of them.
and her desire
So
for
why
the
not
white
just
rose.
mesh the two together and hope for the
Rose
best?
wins.
Oh, I shouldn't, sir, but it is so lovely. I've never seen a rose of white.
As you can see, Alexander is a bit of a pro when it comes to these type of affairs. Like, I
He's
got
got
you.
game.
There are
He's got
many
game.
hedges of them
I
on
showed
the
you my
island of
flower.
the beast,
Please
and
respond.
they grow together like magic.
Oh, truly? What an adventure that must be to see them. But I should not speak so, especially to a stranger. Thank you for the rose, though. Kind.
I found them over there.
Over yonder.
I like that she's like, I found them on the Isle of the Beast, as if she's allowed to leave her front garden. It was like, you can say that they were around the corner, she would believe you.
With her.
Let me tell you about the place where the white roses grow. The Isle of the Beast is an enchanted place. There's a path running through a deep forest. The path crosses 3 magic blockades, set to keep all visitors away. At the center lives a tremendous beast.
Really? Magic blockades?
Wow, you're
How
selling it.
exciting.
And it has some prime
Very
real
terrifying
estate.
and ferocious.
But you
It
know
is a
what?
beast
Goes
that
for a
walks
pretty
on
penny
2 legs
nowadays, I
and
tell
dresses
you
like a
what.
prince. It speaks with the voice of a man.
A beast that talks and wears clothes?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Yes, I mean, what could, like, I'm sold. I don't need to see any more.
Enchanted.
Let me leave now and
Once a
never speak of
prince,
this again.
But a witch trapped him in the form of a beast and set him on the island. There he lives in a castle in the midst of a maze.
Oh my God, does he have an accent?
Imagine how
It's like,
lonely
I
it must
mean,
be.
no.
It
Was it-
is a very lonely prospect.
Were you expecting him to have an accent?
I have met him, you see. He is indeed ferocious, but who would not be?
He really exists.
In the midst of a maze, unprogrammed in the
Breaks
game,
my heart.
thankfully.
If I could, I would tend to such a beast. Such a beast might find comfort in a kind face. Do you not think it so?
Oh, I think it's so. I very much think it's so. You would not be afraid of him?
Afraid? Maybe at first.
I can fix him. I can make him better.
The roses in this
I
little
can-
yard are the
I can
only
make him
magic
better. I can
will
fix
ever
him.
be.
I could take
He's
you
not so
there.
beastly at all
In
when you get to
fact,
know him.
I would owe you my life if you would go. If you truly wish to go.
You are serious? I could leave here? Oh, I have always dreamt of leaving. But to actually
Alternative,
go,
maybe just get someone else to
this is the
do
only
it.
home I have ever known.
Home
You know,
is
the
a hard
work
place to
doesn't
leave,
own you, Snow White, you know?
even if you're unhappy there.
But I will go. If I can help him, I must go.
Is there nothing you wish to take with you?
There is nothing.
Then take this ring. It is his. He
I
will
mean,
be
what great
pleased
character
if you
development
would
just
wear
in that scene. It's almost like she was desperate to leave in the first
Thing
place.
I've ever seen.
And we just
Thank
gave her the
you,
little
sir.
whoosh required.
Where do you think
Whoosh.
you're going?
To a place where roses grow, and to someone who truly needs me.
Ah, now you're married.
Beauty. Yeah.
I
No.
see you wear my ring.
Smash good.
Willingly agreed to spend your life here with me? Do you know what that means?
Yes, my lord, I do. I have been touched by your story.
Pity alone need not sentence you to endure this.
Needs
fate.
me, kind
Oh,
of.
but it is a
It's more of a
gentle
parasocial
service,
relationship at the
and
minute.
kind.
You look at me so sweet.
Now, Neil,
and are not
I'm sure you noticed them.
Oh.
There's a fucking
By the
sneaky
light of your
weasel
eyes,
there.
my spirit
Fucking weasel.
soars.
Fucking sneaky
The
bastard
enchantment.
weasel.
But
It
it's
is
not a weasel.
broken.
It is
I
in
am
fact a pine
pleased
marten.
to have served you, my lord.
Ooh, fucking sneaky
You
pine
still
marten, you
wish me to
little.
stay?
Oh, that's even fucking sneakier.
Such nonsense, beauty. Do you think that I learned nothing of
Oh.
true love during my time
Huh?
here?
Oh god, he's
You
horrible.
are my queen.
How does he look
Oh,
worse as a human
my
than he does
cow.
as a beast?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, he looks
How
quite a
well
lot
suits
worse.
Your noble heart.
He looks like a fucking rejected character from Hamilton.
Mm.
And even then, that's a bit of a stretch. It's like, he's like a prototype King
How
Richard.
can I ever repay you? I have nothing to offer except my gratitude.
And you look worse as well. How is
These
that
old
possible?
clothes. Perhaps you
This doesn't
find
make
someone you
sense.
need during your travels.
You have already
Answer me now.
repaid me by
Pine
your
Martin, do you
example
have
of
an answer for
courage,
this?
Beauty, and by your friendship, I hope.
You will always have our friendship and loyalty, Prince Alexander. But from a fellow adventurer, take some advice. If you find your
Take
true
these old
love,
clothes. I don't need them. My
just
hair is
live your
now
life.
straightened.
There are no peaces without the
I now
respect
have
and
servants.
love.
Ha
To aid you, accept my
The boots
mirror.
on the other fucking foot
Now
now,
that my life is no
motherfuckers.
longer hung
No,
in
that's a
false
different one. That's
shadows,
yeah, well,
no need
yeah,
for
same
it.
difference.
Give it to
That's
someone with
different. That's a
knowledge
different girl who's
of
definitely not
what
programmed in this game.
reveals.
Thank you. I wish you
magic
both
mirror.
well.
Alexander pulls out his magic mirror.
Let me take you
He
home.
sees how ugly he is. He puts it back.
He cries.
Why? I don't.
Right there, your snake.
And there they are, never to be seen again. Because now they are fine, and they don't involve us in the plot again. Fucking buff.
And now for something completely different.
Yes, that's another puzzle solved. And two actually relatively crucial items for later.
Beauty's old clothes are very ragged and heavy.
Again, there's a nice
They
little
consist of a
interconnected
long,
things
thick
with a lot of
dress
these
and a
puzzles, but like
headpiece which covers the hair and most of the face.
it's the same thing when they're designed the games where like they technically do have a
Alexander
kind of an
searches through
open-ended
Beauty's
nature to
clothes
them where
and
you
finds
could solve
nothing.
each one in a certain order, but it's kind of obvious
Alexander-
that like you need to solve one over the other. But it's only
strand
obvious
of-
after the fact when you realize you need
Beast's mirror
puzzle
consists
items
of a
to
piece of
solve
glass
wherever
set
you got
into a
end up being
decorative
stuck in.
frame.
Yeah.
The glass is unusually clear, and the image particularly true.
Yeah, it's like kind of like that kind of illusion of choice that is sometimes wired into
Alexander
these Sierra games.
Mm-hmm.
Beauty's the strand. Alexander
They'll kind of be silly here, but what exactly makes the image true? Like how is that verified? Is that verified by fact checkers or anything like that? You know?
Yeah, you know when you look into the mirror after a fucking session and you're like, oh god, that's actually what I look like.
flowering roses.
Yes, I get that a lot.
Magnificent white rose
Just,
from the
then
rose
comes the
bush.
cycle of self-loathing, then comes the vomiting, and then clarity, and then self-loathing again. So seeing that the White Rose was a bit of an icebreaker between not Cinderella and the Beast, maybe our own parasocial relationship requires a White Rose. Just saying, just trying to throw that one out there in particular. So this looks like enough. Now we have our first spell.
The small vial contains the oracle's sacred water.
So we have to make we're gonna do our make rain spell, but you can, as you notice there in the bottom left, we have to do it over a teapot and wait until it's boiling. So this is a bit sneaky. We're going to cast a spell now, and then it'll activate later on. Which is very clever indeed.
Alexander pours the contents of the oracle's vial into the hunter's lamp with the.
Also, Sierra, we need to talk about how your mechanics of combining items needs a bit of work.
Yeah.
Like it's the same as the Laura Bow game where like it has a verb like literally for the item when you want to use it directly, as opposed to talking about it or looking at it, whatever. Like it's quite literal in a sense. It works for Sierra games and the way they do things, but it still doesn't stop them becoming just that mild irritants. Again, that's the final piece then we need for our Make Rain puzzle.
Alexander prepares to enchant the hunter's lamp with the Make Rain spell incantation.
Clouds of thunder, shafts of light, come and sup with me tonight. Waters 3 have I for tea, brew a tempest now for me.
which basically means we've turned the lamp into a kettle. That's a clever way of making it work.
A rain-causing kettle.
Yeah. No indication whether it is a Barry's or Lion's rain cloud, but we're hoping to get confirmation of that soon.
The lamp in Alexander's hand gives a little perk. He hopes the spell works despite his makeshift teapot.
So I thought when I did this initially, I thought like I was hoping something would happen, and kind of getting a little bit upset that it didn't. But as I said, the teapot thing was a bit of a clue to say like, okay, it doesn't activate yet. You have to basically heat up the lamp first, which we will eventually. So yeah, there we go. It's already happening here at King's Quest 6. We are meant to be still rescuing the princess. We're kind of working into that at the minute.
While fucking around with filling lamps with water and a deer.
Alexander feels a strange pulling
yes,
sensation.
we've all got like little woodland creatures now, wishing us well on our adventure. It's nice, Fun fact: I think the Primarch from the previous scene was actually voiced by Tim Curry. We just didn't have to talk to him.
Appeared from nowhere.
Do you think some of the game designers have done that, where like they have a character like say like it's off the map or something, and they put voice acting to him because like you really shouldn't be here, What are you doing talking to me?
Why are you grabbing me? I literally appeared out of fucking nowhere. Like,
let's go.
That's probably why. It's like,
you want to fuck around with me? Do you really want to fuck around with me?
Alexander is
fucking druids, dude. I can kill you.
Robed
I can hit you with my magic
figured
map.
around a bonfire. Some mystical ceremony is taking place, but as to its purpose, Alexander has no clue.
We found a trespasser on the beach, Archdruid.
Oh, good, a fire.
Archdruid.
This definitely
Now
won't
does Alexander
won't come into
wonder.
play in a few minutes.
This must be the foreigner we were warned about. How appropriate that he should come during our reign.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there on the narrator. I think Alexander has a notion of what's going to happen next,
Wait!
and it requires
I must
him being
rescue the
fucking
princess.
Joan of
There's
Arc.
an ancient druid saying, a man who would save others must first save himself.
One very underrated part of that Archdruid's
Alexander
design.
is pushed
The
into the
kitties
confining
blink,
cage.
eyes blink as well as the humans do. Like yes, that's good. That's good. That's good. Hoju there. That's good hoodoo.
And the cage is swung out over the bonfire.
Alexander, as always, doesn't put up a
Alexander starts
fight
to feel
because he is a
warm.
coward.
The bottom of the cage is getting uncomfortably hot. This cage is really hot. Fire in the cage.
Oh.
And unfortunately, we don't get to see
Alexander
him
pulls
burn
out
to death,
Beauty's
Neil, I'm
old
afraid.
slave clothes,
Aw.
desperate to
Puzzle
beat
is
out
going
the
to save
flames.
us well before that.
The
But
flame is extinguished, but
let's
the clothes
pretend he
themselves
does
burn to cinders.
accidentally set himself on fire
Alexander
here.
won't be able to keep the cage from igniting for long.
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be lovely?
The heat and movement must have jarred something.
So obviously, if we didn't have the old rags,
Something
then
that
we would have
Alexander's
burned at this
carrying is
stage.
starting to jiggle around. Egad, something's really percolating. The water in Alexander's lamp is hot. It's just about boiling.
Dig around in his pants.
Alexander feels a drop. It starts to rain.